And I'm live. That was a surprise. Okay, I thought I had to press something on Zoom. Hi, my name's Dee. Welcome to Untitled Tarot. Let me just post this where people can see it. And I'm live. That was a surprise. And I need to shut me up. Okay. Else there'll be a very weird echo on there. So my apologies for the technical difficulties. My main technical... Get my teeth in. My main technical difficulty seems to be, and let's not talk about teeth, I'll tell you about that afterwards, but my main technical difficulty appears to be that there's one essential piece of my equipment missing, which is my astrologer. So I might dive straight into the readings, talk about the full moon first. But firstly, hi, my name's Dee. Welcome to Sunchild Tarot, which was very nearly this week, Toothless Tarot. If you saw any of my full moon readings that I did earlier, I had mentioned that I may have difficulty talking. Well, I have been hit by the astrology. On Thursday, I think it was Thursday, might have been Wednesday, but on Thursday, we had the Venus-Uranus conjunction. I also had scheduled some work on my jaw. And, well, it could be considered cosmetic because it's very much something you can look at and very much something you can see. And then I realized as the day approached that it was on this conjunction. Now, one thing that I remember from last year that the Venus-Uranus conjunction is bad for is any form of cosmetic procedures, because they can go a bit wrong and they can go a bit weird. And they did. I was having some teeth removed and getting some replacement teeth, and the night before someone broke into the dentist's and nicked my teeth. How crazy is that? Somebody nicked my teeth. So let me actually bring up on here so I can see any comments. So yeah, that's just one bit of the astrology in action. Next thing I noticed today, go into the paper shop, Mars in Cancer. I was listening to, I think it was Nadia Shah talking about this, but it might have been Achita Bava. And there was mentioning about how there would be at least one shark story. Well, apparently we have a great white shark wandering around Britain's coast at the moment. So there's your shark story of Mars in Cancer. So looking at this full moon, on the Facebook page, I've posted a lot of the astrologers taking the full moon to pieces and examining it, just as what I'm wanting to do with David later. So we get different interpretations. But it seems very much to be something that is potentially transformative. It's not big events, it's all internal. There's no fire in this chart. If I bring the chart up, and you can see my limited knowledge of astrology here, because as you may well be aware, I do keep pointing out I'm really not an astrologer. So, oh, shame I can't do the picture in picture on this one. I should have set that up beforehand. So you'll notice that there is no fire. There is no Sagittarius up at the top between 12 and 1 o'clock. There is no Leo between 4 and 5 o'clock. And the only thing in Aries, which is at 8 till 9 o'clock on this chart, is Chiron. So there is no real starting things energy. It is all water, it's in your fields, it's air, it's ideas, it's earth, building on things that are already there. So nothing, Saturn Uranus square left to one side, nothing should be too unexpected during this full moon. Now, I noticed that it's in mutual reception with Mars, which means Mars is in the moon's home, Cancer, and the moon is in Mars's home in Scorpio, according to traditional rulerships. And both of them are weaker. They are in their fall in each of the signs. So again, there's that reduction of the fire energy, with them both being in their fall, in their falls. In their fields, in their fall. So yeah, I need my astrologer here before I talk about any, because I've got loads of questions for him, and I haven't got the ways to answer them myself, really. One thing I did notice, if you saw the full moon readings, it is ruled by Jeliel. It's supposed to be quite good for partnerships this weekend, especially existing partnerships where you can both take the inner work that you're doing and help things improve, make things better. Or, as Jeliel is defined by, recapturing the spark. So, since there is no David here whatsoever, I'm going to put my notes to one side, and hopefully he will join us shortly. Let me get the zoom to the top of the window so I can see when he turns up. And I might as well start on the readings already. So what are we on? 12 minutes past. I'm going to start on Aries, and I'm going to do a selection of, I really enjoyed the new moon one where we was just doing like a selection of oracle cards to have a look at what this can bring in. Now I've chosen, the oracle cards have chosen themselves this time. Obviously, I'll start with the Moonology deck because it's a full moon, it's a lunation, and let's face it, we all love this deck. There you go, it's one sticky outy one. So Aries, and we start immediately on the topic of the night with Walk Through Your Fears, New Moon in Scorpio. However, this is obviously the full moon, so hopefully these are fears that we're working on and sorting out. Let me change camera as well. You'll have to forgive the lighting there. It's very bright at the moment, but by the end of the live stream, it will be dim as. If you're on if you're out there, feel free to say hello. Otherwise, I'm just sat talking to my camera. Not that I mind. That's what I'm doing when I'm recording all the time. So next deck I'm using is the Angelarium. We have Cushiel with Angel of Punishment. Now that sounds quite severe, but really it's a card about forgiveness, because if I remember correctly, Cushiel is the one where, yeah, you can invoke Cushiel to punish somebody for something that they have done, where you feel aggrieved, where you feel injured, and he'll do it if the person's guilty, and then he'll turn around and look at you. So there's an underlying message there of being able to let things go. And this is followed by, from the Gateway Oracle, we have the Flying Free card. I'll unfurl my wings and fly. And from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, which I'm sure was the deck that was getting on really, really well with the Angelarium last time, with the Chess Queen, trust and strategizing. Again, there's that sense of something that you've been working on for some time that you can finally just go, yep, that's it. Had enough now. Now, I was drawn also to pull, and on my significator, to pull the Starseed Oracle. So let's have a look at this one, because what would a Saturday night be without a nice bit of woo-woo? So, surrender to the sweetness. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. That's when I was talking about the absence of fire. I mean, you needn't worry about that, Aries. You've got that one covered in spades. But so we've had the Venus-Uranus conjunction. We've got Venus in Taurus with the Sun, with Mercury at the moment. Oh, and look, Aries, your significator for the time is the Fool. So there really is a chance this weekend, I'm seeing from all of this, a chance to release stuff, just to say, right, no more, not letting it bother me anymore. Doesn't matter how much. If I was to really, really do something about this thing that's niggling me, where would that leave me? And it may well be that where it would leave you would be picking up the pieces, and that's not something that you want to be spending time doing. Now, totally new deck here, the Osset Egyptian Oracle cards. Apparently they used to be called the Isis Oracle cards. I don't need to look this one up. I may well have to look these ones up. Like I say, completely new. This is the first time I've used them. But we have the Great Pyramid with mystery and ceremony. And the first thing that springs to my mind from there is how pyramids can amplify. If you think about the whole thing about pyramid power, pyramid energies, preserving, keeping razor blades sharp. You know, when you do a little pyramid on your windowsill and you store your razors in them, it allegedly keeps them sharp. So then I got the Dark Mirror cards up because this, oh my God, they're all shedding. This, as I said, this full moon is definitely all about being in your feels. Most definitely being in your feels. Oh, and my Zoom is doing something weird. Oh, I was hoping that was David then for a second. So, one last final card. Well, no, tell a lie. There's two last cards. This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Where we have the circle. And then finally, I don't think I've used these on the channel before. I've had them a while. There's not very many of them. It's a Kings of Hell Oracle deck working with the Kings of Hell out of the Goetia. I think they're all Goetic spirits. Where's my little card for them gone? So, okay, this is the one that wants to come out. And we have Zagan, King of Transmutation. I really don't need to look that one up either, but I will, because now these are worth Googling. They are what was that? They are absolutely beautiful cards. There you go. There's Zagan, King of Transmutation. So again, there's this sense of just letting something go. Something that may have been an issue for some time, where you may have been tempted to take some action on. The work through your fears doesn't always mean face your fears. Hey, Carlos. It doesn't always mean, I mean, face your fears in here, but sometimes it's, why am I fearing doing something that I know is a stupid idea anyway? Let's not do the stupid idea. Because there may have been some form of imperative that was there to, I have to sort this, I have to deal with this, I have to set the balance straight and make sure justice is done in my eyes. Some things are best left to the universe. And I think that's really what we're saying here with these, because there's, with the chess queen representing trust and strategizing, I'm getting two stories from that card. The trust and the strategizing are two separate things. Trust that whatever that was will sort itself out one way or another. You know, karma works out. The strategizing is getting on with the stuff that you want to be getting on with in the rest of your life. So where this had been dragging you down, but now you've got the opportunity to let go and say, you know what, it mattered at the time. I've been angry about this for however many hours, weeks, months, years. It's not important anymore. because, hey, oh God, I've got Elton John going in my head. I'm still standing, you know, but yeah, pretty much I'm still standing. You know, there's whatever it was, oh, well, move on. And that probably sounds quite harsh, but with Zagan's attention here, you have the chance of, especially with this fragmentation card from the Dark Mirror Oracle, you've got this chance of bringing whatever that annoyed, injured part of yourself is, bring it back in. You know, shadow and all, bring it back in. You know, if it's an inner child, give your inner child a hug. If it's a piece of you that is fragmented, just say, welcome home. And yeah, okay, something awful happened, but hey, let's move on. It's a new day. We're free now. Because the cost of carrying on, because the other message I'm getting with Kushiel is who exactly is being punished here. And if this has been an issue for so very long, is that not you punishing yourself somewhat? Because you have support. That's what the Circle card is saying. You have support. You've definitely got support at the moment, because as I just said, you have support the first time. Something screamed out in the back of my head, cardinal directions, which obviously makes you think of the angels of the watchtowers, the guardians of the corners, whatever you want to call them. And that is very much representing the elements, the universe, or the motivate. Is that the right word? Motivating forces of the universe? Actually on your side on this, if you take that step forward, if you allow that one piece of you to come home to heal under that great pyramid energy. So Aries, here's my forecast for you. Go and sit under a pyramid during the full moon. It will do you a world of good. Then again, more seriously, it's just a matter of letting something go. That really measures that whole surrender to sweetness vibe, from surrender to the sweetness from this card. It's whatever it is that you need to let fall away from your eyes, whatever part of you it is that you need to welcome back into yourself, you get, once you've done that, you can see the more beautiful things that you hadn't necessarily been paying attention to beforehand. Right, so that's quite nice, Aries, actually, wasn't it? So, and I also want to thank those Osset Oracle cards for going easy on me on the first card. I have got the little book down here just in case. Please forgive me if I have to look anything up, because I'm not as familiar with Egyptian myths as I am with Greek myths, for example. There's right, so Taurus. I suppose I should put that down there, and then you can see who I'm reading for at any point as you tune in. Right, let's see what. Oh, okay, that one then. So Taurus, what a surprise! All the planet stellium in your sign, not all the planets, but a stellium in your sign, and you are building something. The energy is gaining momentum. Waxing moon card here. Let's see what the Angelarium has to say for you. Okay, that's the one. And we have Hod. Left leg of the tree of life, representing that which yields, that which abides, that which supports. Submission. The whole letting go and going with the flow business. Okay, that one. Soaring into joy. They're not all deliriously happy, these gateway cards. They'll always try and put a deliriously happy spin on everything, but this I really like this. Soaring into joy, childlike wonder fills my life. It's almost like, I should stop saying it's almost like, but I get the feeling that there's something good around you that you have to simply open your eyes to. Now, I'm not saying everything's good. Hey, this is the world that we live in. But there is something good around you that you will have the opportunity to pay attention to and enjoy, and you should let it carry you along for a little while. Next one, we've got the Diamond Dreamer, about material wealth and true prosperity. And there's me saying I've still got my own teeth. True prosperity. So hold that up a bit. So that's most definitely Venus in Taurus. It's most definitely that whole fixation on that sense of building that I picked up from that energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon card. Right, let's see what the Starseed Oracle has got to say for you. Now, I'm humorous about these cards because they're a little bit woo-woo, even for me, I'll be honest. But I love my woo-woo. That's why I like to try and market myself, although I haven't really started yet, as Professor of Woo-Woo. It's something that, now this is nice. The Courageous Peony. Multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. So whatever this fun event where you are getting carried along with, that you're giving yourself the freedom to enjoy, is something that's good for you, is something where you get noticed. That's these cards next. Let's have a look at your significator for this period. Bear in mind, when you're looking at the new moons, full moons, I mean, as we know, the full moon is about endings, completion, and highly emotive, feelings running high. So this could easily be the culmination, not just from the new moon 2 weeks ago, but from the new moon in Scorpio 6 months ago, which I really should have had a look at the chart before I came here. So who have we got? We've got Ma'at with Cosmic Justice. Right. I'm not going to launch on an interpretation of that just yet, but we've certainly got a story coming out of these cards. If you suddenly find on full moon or for days either side that there's some friends banging on the door saying, come out with us, depending where you are, you might be going to a park rather than into a restaurant or into a bar or anywhere indoors for that matter. It may just be going for a walk, but don't fob them off. Take them up on it. Now, from the Dark Mirror Oracle, I've got Sacrifice, but it feels really past tense, especially when compared with that Soaring into Joy and the Diamond Dreamer cards here, and with Mart, for that matter. Something that you have sacrificed in the past, or something that you have sacrificed for, or someone maybe that you have sacrificed for in the past. It looks here, hello Raheel, nice to meet you. It looks here as if at the very least there is recognition, which is what this Courageous Peony is saying. At the very least, there is recognition, if not even the sense of putting something right. Not that it wasn't right that you made that sacrifice beforehand. I don't think putting something right is the right phrase. Making sure all is fair, that's the right phrase. And like I say, the courageous peony just talks about that recognition. But again, take your hands off the wheel. This one. Yes, we have Beleth here. Take your hands off the wheel when it seems appropriate, Taurus. So what I'm seeing here is some form of events might be a strong word, because it might be something that lasts a few hours. It might be something that lasts a few weeks. And in which case it's more of a process. And if there's some form of process that starts up that you feel that you've had to surrender to, you feel like you've had to just go, yeah, okay, everyone, I'll do what you say. Whatever it is. Yes, we'll go to Alton Towers, or yes, we'll go to Disney World, or yes, I'll help you put this play on, or whatever it is. That's the key that is going to set things balanced. I don't want to say right, because this sacrifice, whatever it was, yeah, this feels like it was quite a heavy thing at the time. It was something where you really had, how can I put it? You really had paid a cost, paid a price, hampered yourself, hindered yourself for the sake of something or someone. And now that's being recognized. And now the results of the reasons why have come through for you. So with Beleth appears here as a puppeteer of love. But Beleth also, this is from personal experience, helps get people to the right places. When somebody is in the wrong place, Beleth will help them move towards the right place for them. Let's see what the little card says on here. Probably much the same. It just says love. You know, and as you know, it's me. I don't do love readings. But if this sacrifice was made for someone or something that you love, but I think it's more a someone with Beleth's presence being here, then there will be the eyes to see and to recognize what you have done and how it can now benefit you, because things are going to be set on a fairer balance. I hope that means something to somebody. The other thing, your significator here, we've got the moon. So yeah, I can't do anything about that sunshine. It's now coming through a completely different window. This is, I mean, appropriate for the full moon, but this is what this is telling me, is that this will come in waves. But once you see that first wave, it should build and build and build, which figures with that whole, the energy is gaining momentum. So I hope that means something for you, Taurus. Now, let's get all the cards done and out of the way with. No, yes, that way. Right, so who are we going to have now? We have, who are we going to have? Like, I don't know the order of these cards. Gemini. Is just before, let me just see if there's any message from David. No, I don't think he's got connection. He may have had some form of internet calamity, because he's not even seen the messages. So hey ho. Right, so Gemini, let's have a look at this then. Right, Raheel. Well, Scorpio moon, you'll be having fun this. I would imagine that you're going to end up with a lot of personal introspection, Raheel. Hang around, because I'm just working my way through the zodiac. So Scorpio is number 8, Virgo is number 6. I would have a look at both to see which ones seem relevant. Neither of them might be relevant, but you're here, so hopefully there will be. But you know what your rising sign is as well, because that would be a useful thing to watch or pay attention to. In fact, with a lot of these, say the YouTube tarot readings, I tend to always watch my rising sign and my rising sign first, because I've actually found that it, out of the readers that I trust and are not just watching for entertainment or to see, you know, look at, totally plagiarist, look at their spreads, look at how they are interpreting cards. You know, I love it when I'm seeing a reader who interprets a card a specific way that I hadn't thought of, and I'm sat there going, that's really nice, that's really beautiful, I hadn't thought of that. It's always, because then it's okay with behave cards, right? Flying Free wanted to come out again. I wasn't going to let it. It's just been out, so we now have Revealing Radiance. But yeah, when the other readers come up with something where it's like they give me some insight on, oh, and then if I'm doing a reading, either I remember it or I don't. And if I remember it, it's relevant. If I don't remember it, it's not relevant. There is dozens of meanings for each of these cards. Right, I'm starting to build up a picture for you, Gemini. Let's have a look to see what we can find. So we start with, again, surprise, surprise, Gemini, you're in your feels. We have full moon in Scorpio this time. Do you not feel that the cards are hammering the point home somewhat? With Sandalphon, the twin angel of new life, Revealing Radiance, my light illuminates the world, the River Queen, flow, letting go, and natural movement. And from the Starseed Oracle, we have Whale and Orca Elders, share your song, frequency of sound and diving deep. Yes, you are definitely in your fields, and not maybe your strong point either, Gemini, because by astrological sort of, according to your sign, you prefer to be in your head. Well, of course you do, but there's more than just Gemini in your chart. We all have all 12 signs in our chart in different areas of our lives and with different planets. So, ooh, we have Cobra with New Awakening, which is that snake thing on the front of their crowns. That I just had the name of what it was on my head. You know, if you look at the old hieroglyphs and stuff within Egypt, they've got that circle. A lot of the gods have circlet crowns, and on the front of the crown is a little cobra head, and it's got a special name. But it's a lot of people see it as representing Kundalini energy, the serpent within. Some people obviously will put it to your ancient aliens crowd and what have you, will put it towards the Anunnaki and your David Icke shape-shifting reptilians. Interestingly, I was watching one thing that pointed out to me, and it's right, because I've read a couple of his books. Zechariah Sitchin never said there was anything serpentine about the Anunnaki. Now, you either know what I'm talking about there or you don't. But there's, I did find that quite interesting. So, from the dark mirror, this is nice. Peaceful among thorns. With the death card here as your significator, there is a lot of letting go energy. This is very, very similar and less specific to the Aries reading, because it's almost like there's one thing you just need to let go and you will have opportunity. Here's Uranus, lightning. You will have opportunity to let something go, whatever it was, and that releases a blockage, which allows that water to flow, allows your own song, your own deep inner wisdom to come out. And yes, Joseph, that's it. Uraeus, I think you're right. I think that is what it's called. Yeah, so anyway, well, so that threw me there. As you can tell, I've got the comments up over here. I'm really liking this Whale and Orca Elders card, because one thing that it's implying to me is distance. Now, within the starseed cosmologies, I seem to remember there was something about, or maybe I've just got this from a movie or a book I read or something, but something about whales, whale elders being very good at transporting themselves from planet to planet, from one ocean to another. Maybe that's just for this reading, I don't know, but I seem to remember something like that. Whether I actually do, who knows? But this is really saying that wherever you're setting off from, you are landing somewhere with, or arriving somewhere is probably a better word, with purpose, with, I'm going to say, with a song that you are singing out for the world to hear. You know, whatever your song happens to be, however it manifests. Obviously, that's metaphor. You know, if your song is being able to make a good pair of shoes, then you'll be going somewhere to make shoes. But you'll be going somewhere to make shoes at a place that really needs your type of shoes and really appreciates your type of shoes. And that change will come fast. So whatever, with this peaceful among thorns, if there is chaos around you at the moment, Gemini, and let's face it, there's chaos around a lot of people at the minute, so I hardly think you would be exempt. If there's chaos around you, Gemini, now is the time to practice your, go sit in your Zen garden, or sit there cross-legged like that, and just allow the world to happen around you. Oh, is that another name for it, Raheel? Because that word seems familiar as well. But the change will come fast when it comes. And building to that change is that sitting down and whatever chaos is that's going on around you, just go, okay, you know what? It's a good show, this. So I'm not saying that you need to disengage. I'm not saying that you can't join in with the chaos. Yeah, thank you, Raheel. You can just don't take the chaos personally. Whatever it is, it's happening. There'll be a point where it stops happening. Something else will happen. Hey ho, there's and whatever level of chaos. So there's an element here of this too shall pass, but I'm not saying it in a way that's like to relieve your pain of something that's going on right now. This is releasing pain of something that happened a long time ago. Or more to the point, what I'm really feeling is irritations, triggers, things that had triggered you, and now you just go, oh, well. Anyway, this cupboard needs emptying, you know. So there's this change happens fast. I mean, let's face it, how many fast cards have you got here? Lightning, the death card, like that. And it reveals so much. So sit still in your heart. Oh, that sounds woo-woo, doesn't it? But sit still in your heart as the world's hustle and bustle. And it doesn't matter if you are jogging 20 miles an hour while you're doing it. If you're sat still inside your heart, just enjoying the show, because whatever is going on, it'll be something different tomorrow. Maybe not different, maybe a lot different. This implies a lot different. But take that time. It's almost like, I remember one time that one person told me about when you'll hear Christians say about put things in the hands of God. And in fact, you'll hear all sorts of faithful say put things in the hands of God. And I can remember a friend who was a pagan telling me much the same sort of concept, where it was take your pain, take your hurt, take your loss or what have you, and sacrifice that to the gods and see what they'll do with it. And I thought that was a really, really beautiful idea of how, in a way, how to invite them to help, but also it doesn't matter whether they do or not, because here you are, I've done this for you. Now, here you are, I've done this for you, I know, sinks into that whole we're looking for somebody to worship vibe, but I don't mean it like that. It's just, it's more a sort of a, yes, it's a surrender. If I still have to feel this, I do. And I'll feel it for as long as I need to, and then we'll move on. Right, what have we got? Cancer. The answers you need are coming. That's a good start. See what the Angelarium have got for you. Actually, I think Uraeus might have been the stick that they carry. Sorry, still reacting to the comments here. Ferren Crown sounds right. Uraeus also sounded right, but I think that might be the stick that they carried that's serpent-headed. Although I was watching this show off of Gaia the other day, and they was trying to say it was pteranodon-headed, which I thought was a little bit of a stretch, to be honest. Cancer, you're looking deeply at things, because the answers that you need are coming, followed by Fanuel, the Angel of Truth, and then a Cherishing Self card. There's got to be some mean cards in here, surely. There's what that implies to me, I'm getting the sense initially of like an audit. There is, I know that sounds awful, but like you are emotionally auditing yourself. And it appears you are guided in that process. We have the Spirit Whisperer. Do it so the light doesn't reflect. The Spirit Whisperer, divine guidance, and higher knowing. Let's see what the Starseed Oracle have got to add. Come on, just one card. Okay, that was quick. We have Deep Cellular Healing, Arcturus Energy. I don't know much about Arcturians in terms of starseeds. I only know about Arcturians in terms of Marvel comics, like Yondu of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's the original Yondu, not the modern movie one who's suddenly living in the 20th century. But anyway, deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. To sum all of these top cards up, the first image that pops into my mind is if there's been, well, I say if you're a Cancer, you'll have been thinking about things. There'll have been something that's been bothering you because you're a Cancer and things bother you. Death card wanted to come out again. Then it's a feeling of the penny drops. Almost like there's just that one piece of information or that one piece of intellectual or emotional, probably emotional, emotional understanding that it's like the puzzle piece that everything else clicks into place. Because the other image that I've got in my head from that is if you've ever played the game Mousetrap, with a very complicated board, and I think you actually build the mousetrap in the case of the board, unless I've got it mixed up with Buckaroo in my head. And it's the trap falls, and you're not in it, you're watching it. And it doesn't matter whether the trap falls on something or not. The process is complete. That game has finished. This is the one that I want. Envious gluttony. Envious gluttony. This is on the back of Nekhbet with protection from the Amoset Oracle. Now, Nekhbet, I don't know a great deal about, so I am going to have to look her up. The Sorcerer. So you're coming into that penny that drops for you is bringing you into some better expression of yourself. Some like the step from the Fool to the Magician. So it's the understanding that is gained. And I think it's because here, this doesn't normally look this way to me, but it's reminding me of the Scream Mask, or if you've ever seen the cartoon strip Kid Death, because it seems humorous and distant. This the more ending force represented by this death card, because with a death there is change. Change can be good. As I said on one of the full moon readings, if you get a job, there's a death of poverty. If you get some medicine, there's the death of illness. So, you know, death isn't a scary card. Whereas I'm getting the impression that this death here is desperately, desperately trying to be scary, but cannot stop laughing at the same time. There's almost like that when that penny drops, wherever it is, you'd be tempted to like slap yourself on the forehead, you know, just to go, how did I not see that before? But it activates so many bits inside of you. So definitely go within. That's what I would say, even before I do the next. Oh, my maths has suddenly disappeared. The next 8 readings. Go within. All of you, whatever sign you are, whatever rising, whatever moon, go within and just have a look at those niggles and those irritations and the where you feel you're not doing good enough, and where you feel you're not doing good enough, and I want to say this, especially with Cancer, and I've no idea where this is coming from, but especially with Cancer, but really this is for everyone. Have a look at yourself and say, are you really doing that badly? But the other thing that I would say is, so you're auditing the process. Oh yeah, it was this one where I said audit, wasn't it? You're auditing the process. If you know that you are doing badly at something, you can probably see where and how you're doing badly, and then you can just get on and do better with it. So let's have a look at Nekbet. Nekbet? I'll have to learn how to pronounce that. It hasn't got a pronunciation guide here, unfortunately, unless there's one in the front. No, of course there isn't. This goddess has the vulture as her symbol and is closely associated with the vulture goddess. She is said to have existed from the beginning of time and be the creatrix of the world. And in the duat or underworld, she watches over the dead, waiting to transform their eyes into brilliant light. What was it I was saying about the penny dropping and that healing that comes from the penny dropping, and the fact that there's guidance here with that spirit whisperer card? That brilliant light is that you coming into the sorcerer. But I think this, I can't figure out this envious gluttony card. Oh, right. So the king of hell that I've got here is Citri. Well, he's a prince. Prince of lust. And with lust and gluttony, well, there's two of the seven sins, eh? Almost feels like there's been a trigger in the past that is, whether it's someone playing away from home, whether it's you playing away from home, whether it's you overindulging or being angry with someone else for overindulging. I think those are topics, have you been hurt by your own indulging or by somebody else's overindulging? Those are topics that could be triggered under this full moon. Because one thing that I did notice, looking at the degree symbols from the full moon, there is a lot of sexual energy in, and I can't quote you chapter and verse right now, but there is a lot of sexual energy in the images to do with the degrees where all the planets are in the chart at the moment. So, and obviously it's Scorpio, it's known for those sort of energies. So I always feel like this envious gluttony is irrelevant, but is something that, when I said the penny drops and you was like, but the other feeling that I get looking at the envious gluttony with the answers you need are coming, is almost like the answer is that all it was? Really? It's that simple? And maybe there was some expectation that it was going to be some vastly complex cause to whatever this wound is. And it's no, it was something quite simple. But here's a perfect time. Whatever Citrian envious gluttony are representing here, it's a perfect time to release it, walk away from it, or just go, oh, that was what was going on, and then not take it personally. Let's see what else Nekbet has got to say. Wearing the white crown of the south, she is a protective goddess who is important in religious rituals and brings clear-sightedness to those working with spiritual principles. Now, that really feels, I don't know where to put this, I'll put it there. That almost feels like the Phanuel, angel of truth. Look at the torch he is bearing, and I use that phrase deliberately, torch bearing. That it's like he is taking you to the care, the ministrations of Nekhbet, who is able to bring that transformation of white light coming out of your eyes, that awakened soul energy, which is really, really nice. So I don't think, whereas I was saying everyone needs to do a bit of delving, I don't think, Cancer, that you need to delve that hard, because it feels more like an answer will come through inspiration than from you churning it over and trying to work out all the ins and outs of a situation. Right, let's go on to Leo. So, first card, one card for Leo. Okay, maybe I was being a bit casual with that one. Right, we have the end of a tough cycle approaches. Well, ain't that welcome news, Leo, looking at your readings recently. You had a glimmer of hope and then everything all started up again. No, that's not fair. Not the same situation, but a new situation started where you could see all the same themes going on as well. But don't worry, it's soon time for the scorched earth. Uriel, angel of flame. Now that's, excuse me, that's beautiful. So we've then got, so here's Uriel, beautiful card. And then planting seeds. Now, the first thing that reminds me of is the end of a tough cycle approaches, getting the harvest in. Uriel of flame, stubble burning, or forest fire. And then planting seeds, well, that one speaks for itself, the regrowth that comes afterwards. So whatever is going on for you at the moment, which I can't recall all the ins and outs from my readings, and let's face it, it's going to be different for every Leo. And even then, it's just for the Leos that I've read for, not for every single Leo on the planet. Nice. So here we have the prism wave, self-sabotage and poverty consciousness. There is some form of coming conflagration, whatever that may mean. And I'm not saying that your house is going to burn down or anything like that, but some event, some cycle that's going on in your life is going to combust. So no shortage of fire energy for you, eh? And remember that fire energy has got nothing to control it, nothing for it to be steered through, with no planets in your sign during this full moon. But that is clearing the way for new growth. But there is a warning that rather than enjoying that new growth and jumping on with that new growth, you could be left with, you could be stood there going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's all going horribly wrong, everything's falling to pieces, what am I going to do? And I would suggest that that's not the best response for everything that's occurring. So let's check what the Starseed Oracle has got to say. Just one. Just stick one card out, please. Yeah, so you've got this choice of everything's burning away, And you can go, oh, goody, that makes fertile soil and the new growth will come. Or, oh, my God, I've lost everything. Whichever, you know, you've got a choice. Portal. Let me read it out. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards and wild cards. So there's something unexpected. Whatever this conflagration, I'm going to stick with that word conflagration to go with Uriel. Now Uriel, so Angel of Flame in this deck, and I do know that Uriel is associated with actually I'm complete opposite, Raheel. I'm Pisces, not Virgo, Pisces sun anyway, and that's a lapis. I normally wear a garnet, but tonight I just wanted to get my lapis ring out. And I have garnet on this one here. And as for what stone, I've got like a dozen stones around my neck. I always do when I'm reading. Anyway, where was I? Portal. Yeah, no, that's thrown me. Yeah, with the conflagration, we Uriel. Uriel is the angel of flame or archangel of fire in some traditions. And I'm sure in other traditions, he's the archangel of earth. So it depends which tradition you are looking at as to what element is associated with him. And I really want to draw on the fact that he's associated with two elements, because once the fire has passed, the earth remains. And there is that sense of a firm foundation. His passing creates that firm foundation, that fertile soil in which to plant the seeds for the next step. So what I'm seeing with this is very much that for a full moon, yes, this is about completion for you, Leo. Whether this is an internal process, this actually appears a little more external, to be quite honest, but I could be wrong. I'm making an assumption on that from all the other readings that you've received over the past 6 to 8 months. Yes, this implies 5 of Wands. I love the 5 of Wands on this. This is the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Cannon Reid. There's a few tarots called the Witch's Tarot. You know, it's quite old. I've had this one years. Now, the 5 of Wands can be debate. It can be strong debate. It can be almost more conflict like the 5 of Swords, you know, maybe not quite severe as the 5 of Swords. Here he stood on a hill defending himself, like in the 7 of Wands. But what it really makes me think of is, yeah, he's in the middle of a forest, but he stood on his soapbox. It's almost like he could be teacher. He's showing, and then you do this with your staff. He's demonstrating something here. Now, the audience may be hostile, may not be hostile, but there's I'm literally feeling like one is a little hostile and the other one is less so. So there's a mixed audience, and the end of this cycle has a lesson in it for everybody involved. And the whole point of it, Sekhmet, change and healing. Like I say, doors are opening, you decide. Change and healing, this is something that not just you, but maybe a few people have the advantage of moving on, knowing something new, knowing something better. Right, so we have Addicted from the Dark Mirror Oracle, and from the Kings of Hell, we've got Person, the Prince of Sights. So what that immediately makes me think, let's check what he says on here, but I can't read that in this light. So, that wasn't what I was thinking. So on here it says, divination, familiars, knowledge of the divine, and treasure. I can see the treasure aspect. But what I was immediately led to think is when there's this conflagration, or more to the point, the results after the conflagration, use all your senses. You know, there's not just your eyes, but smell the air, feel the earth between your fingers, sort of thing. Once it's cooled, obviously, because, you know, glowing red hot embers. But, you know, there's but the other thing that as I was thinking that, what popped in to my mind was use senses other than just what Facebook tells you to, you know, other than what, not even what other people's reactions are, but the manufactured comments that we all put on Facebook. I'm no different. I mean, I try to post, I will just post things on Facebook and leave it there. But ever so often I'll have a little rant about something, or what a wonderful day I've had, or what have you. But most of the time it's something that I've gone, oh, this is interesting, or oh, this is funny, I'll post it. But this looks to have been, with Uriel here and that end of a tough cycle, quite a, well, fiery, emotive time. So the end of the tough cycle is the full moon in Capricorn. And again, I want to look back rather than forward. So full moon in Capricorn, that would be new moon in Cancer. So that would be 2 months from now. We're in April, May, June. So going back to June next year, June last year. There's thing is, whatever is occurring here is for the better. We have the Sun card here. There's more information coming because this is from the mystical shaman. Again, if people are able to let go of the situation since it has burnt to the ground, which is what I was saying with that prism waif and portal, you can either think, oh my God, everything has burnt to the ground, I've lost everything, or, well, that's good fertilizer. And the addicted is the one that's going to feel the loss. Whereas the ones that can just plant the seeds in the new soil are the ones that are really going to get the light from that sun. So, Leo, so here we go. Virgo, Raheel, this will be for you. Let me just put these other cards away. Right, start here. Okay. Okay, which one do you want? I'm going to go with that one. In fact, go with all three. Why not? That's not three. That's the... Okay, that's an interesting message. So you've got your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. A time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo, because of course Virgos, you're all about service. And then your dreams need a practical plan. And it's in that order. Well, they actually came out in reverse order. So the basis is your dreams need a practical plan, the foundation. But when your hard work is paying off and a time to give rather than take, that makes me think to say, keep going. Keep going. You're starting to have the effect that you have been after, that you've been wanting, that you've been aiming for. You're starting to see, but not receive the results of what your hard work is. Keep going. It is not time to it's not time to call for the check. It's not time to balance the books yet. You've got to keep going. But maybe, just maybe, especially with that new moon in Capricorn there, start being a little more structured about whatever it is that you are trying to change in life at the moment. Because I think you're going to end up being surprised. But no, planting seeds again. You're going to end up being surprised by what exactly will result. And what I'm feeling from these cards already, even before I pull out any of the other cards, is you can't see those results yet. Not yet. You will get to see them, but you can't see them yet. They are literally, they're not just round the bend, they are around several bends. There's a few more twists and turns in the road to go so far. Now, the next card we have from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms is the Ringmaster of Scrutiny. Discernment, clear visions, details. So it's hammering home that point of your dreams need a practical plan. Okay, I'll do that one since it because there's things to be taken care of. I's to dot, T's to cross, budgets to balance, lists to do and then to check off. And what I also want to say is goals to set. Now, that's nice. I have got Amun-Ra, miracle and creation. There. Whatever you are aiming at accomplishing, aiming at creating, aiming at doing, yes, it's going to come around, but now is where you need to be more structured. And I also feel like what you're okay, now is the time to plan. Now, 8 of Wands here. So things are going to change quite quickly. So now is definitely the time to plan, to put that structure in, because with Amun-Ra, I also feel that, and I haven't looked at the book for this one, but I know a little bit about Amun-Ra, and the one thing that dropped into my mind is how his worship took over from the worship of other gods under Akhenaten. I hope I've got that right. I'm sure I have. Oh, now this is interesting. From the Dark Mirror Oracle, we have Downcast Pride. She looks like a drow. Or a dark elf if you don't speak Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. This is, but that Downcast Pride, it's almost like, no, you haven't got to your goal yet. And part of you feels that that's a badge of honor because you can be a bit martyrish about it. Pack it in. Because it's very soon, with that planting seeds and Raziel, there's going to be a wonderful chance to be proud of what you have accomplished, not be proud of the fact that you've kept trying to accomplish and nothing's happened, because the change is there beneath the surface. You are heading in the right direction, the arrow. I also saying all this because from the Starseed Oracle, we've got the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. And that's what I'm feeling in here, is that there is a gift that you are bringing out. There's a lot of, I haven't got like a recognition card like I had with one of the readings earlier, whichever one it was. But I also want to say that right now is not the time for you to be recognized with what you have been trying to accomplish. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in a, it's not now because it will be later. Now is not the time. It's too soon. You know, the phrase too soon really springs to mind. Now, who have we got here? We've got Vinay, bringer of wrath. Now, what can Vinay represent here? Divination, treasure, war weather. War weather? I do get the feeling from this, Virgo, that there is, like I said, there's something that you've been working towards. It's almost, I mean, I often fall on this metaphor or analogy, but say that you are a political campaigner. You're at the point of people starting to talk about the issue that you've been highlighting. You are not at the point of having legislation to present for people to vote on. That's what I think this whole, your dreams need a practical plan, the Ringmaster of Scrutiny, the Eight of Wands. Because if you notice here, it's bookwork. And wands can very much be representative of books. So if you were that political campaigner, you need to start writing your piece of legislation that you want people to vote on, because now you've managed to open the debate for them to discuss what you were wanting them to discuss, but it's like herding cats, because of course it is. So it's now time for going to the next level of, now that people are aware of what you are trying to achieve, and they're aware that there is a need or that there is something there. Well, and I don't mean that just on the political analogy, on whatever level that you're looking at. Now you need to help give a concrete goal. Now, I'm not going to say that that goal is the one that will be accepted by everybody, because it's not. Else Raziel wouldn't be here. One of the other angels would be here. However, by creating that concrete goal, you are giving somebody to the opportunity, get my teeth in, opportunity to say, yes, I want that, or no, I want to do this differently. So, and you know, you're giving them something to compare with. And yeah, you might be giving a few people something to be angry about. Good, let them express. Because with Vinay here, I do want to say that I feel that their expression can only help you. Even if they're angry with you, even if they're, you're horrible, you're this, you're that, how can you think that this is a good idea, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but they'll say something that will make you go, ooh, I hadn't thought of it that way, haven't looked at it like that, I wonder if we could. Or, you know, it's going to inspire something. As Raza Laila Healing was saying in his bit about the full moon today, people don't recognize that, one, that shadow work is as important as it is, and the new age culture does tend to frown upon anger and other negative emotions. I'm sorry, but sometimes anger is justified. and sometimes these other negative emotions. You can't just go walking around blissed out, 99 to 100% of the time. But for another thing, anger is a wonderfully motivating force. If it is destructive, or if it is turned inward, then maybe not such a good thing. But it's good for starting things. Right. Libra, I'm halfway through. I'm just going to take another drink for a second. And let's just see if there is any sign of David. Oh, I have a message. Yeah, no, I can't play that. I'm on camera, mate. You can join us. I'm halfway through the readings. And we on. My God, have I been going an hour and a half? Good Lord. Okay. Doesn't look like he is there. That's a shame, because I really wanted to discuss this new moon with him. New moon, full moon. Okay, so that's his tarot this time for Libra. Oh, that's a nice one to start with. We have the Ace of Swords, clarity, and intellectual motivation is one thing that I would see with the Ace of Swords. So let's see what Moonology has got to say. The answers you need are coming has come out again. So it's going to be a time of revelation for you. We have Malkut, the 10th Sephiroth of the Sea of Life, the Tree of Life, the Kingdom. So whatever these answers are, they're useful. They are something that will affect real change. So let's have a look from the. Let's see what we've got in the happy cards. Do you know, I used to love using these, but tonight they just seem cheesy and just overly positive, exceeding expectations. But I do like that with those two cards, and the Ace of Swords. I like the idea that the revelations that this full moon is bringing for you are useful things and will take you further than you thought they would. Although it may take time. The resting tree, patience and stillness. Right, let's see what the woo-woo cards have got to say. That stuck out, so it obviously wants to come out. Ooh, now this is beautiful. I say, throwing it across the room. The void, which it says at the bottom, stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. These answers that are coming are offering you a real point of creative potential here. What do I want to use next? I love when that void card comes up, much like on some of my god decks when the goddess Nyx comes out, because in some I think it's Orphic, the Orphic creation story. the universe came from Nyx. It came out of the darkness. So we have, oh, Nekhbet again. Libra, you are promised some real illumination. This is not telling me about what or why. But again, I would have a look at what the astrologers have to say about what house Scorpio is in your chart. You know, if it's your 4th house, these could be answers to do with your home life. If it's the 2nd house, there could be answers to do with your partnership. No, with your finances, your assets. 7th house, partnerships. 9th house, some academic answers or something to do with travel or something to do with some form of spiritual revelation. 10th house would be career. 12th house, good luck with that. You know, so I would not want Scorpio. I mean, I have Saturn in my 12th house. That's enough. Thank you. I wouldn't want Scorpio there as well. Got that fire. I also, from the dark mirror, we've got blinded to pain, which makes me think that something had been ignored up until now. And whatever these answers are, they just seem to give such a wonderful, oh, thank you, Raheel. I'm here to serve. These answers seem to give a wonderful creative energy. There's a new beginning coming, but it's not like my traditional tarot woo-woo new beginning. Oh, you're going to a new beginning. No, this is directed, and it's something that before you could not direct. You have those answers, and it's almost like before you're just like, I don't know where to go and I don't know what to do. And then after these answers, I know where I'm headed and I know how to get there, and I know what I need to build to get there, and I know who I need to recruit, and I know what buttons I need to press where. You know, but that is an acknowledgement of some form of wound in the past that up until this point has been ignored. But it gives you fire again. It gives you that surging forward, because Ace of Swords, it's about clarity. It's the Ace of Wands that you feel that surging forward energy with. But I feel that with this card as well, especially when it's given that fire, that movement energy, and there's Nekhbet's trying to turn the lights in your eyes on. But it's practical. That's what is beautiful about this with Malkuth there. It is a practical, I mean, I want to say it's a practical void. It's a practical point of creation. It's going to be slow, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Right then. So Scorpio next, isn't it? I'll record a show, probably won't live stream it, but I'll record a show with David tomorrow. Oh, no, I won't. I'll see if I can record a show with David tomorrow, or we will live stream on Monday evening if I can talk him into it. See how persuasive I can be. Right, so Scorpio, let's have a look what's... Okay, we have... Okay, no, that's too many. That's 3 of them. I just want the top one. Oh, so the top one is that it's time to release negativity again. So I think we know that message. We've had that. That's what the astrology is about. Oh no, I didn't even see that. And the other one. So Raheel, this is you, isn't it? It's getting spelled out to you. What do you need to release? It's time to release negativity. So it looks like there might be a case of baby and bathwater going out of the window to a certain extent, because there's something that around you that this hints is causing you some form of negativity. But I wonder what that is. We haven't got any context yet, because that could be something in your external life. It could be something in your internal life. So we've got Netza, endurance. So again, there's that story. So yeah, this is definitely for you, Raheel, wasn't it? Because wasn't the Virgo reading very much about carrying on, keeping doing? And we've got Netzach with endurance. That which Netzach is that which resists, I think. We've got the River Queen again. Let me just no, it's not there. Where is it? Ah, here we are. Netzach, because one is that which abides and one is that which resists. I was right. It's that which resists. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Getting all confused there. I tell you what, I'm really thrown off my game tonight with David standing me up. It's not his fault, bless him, but it's right. So that's the card I want. What does it say? The Golden Children again. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. There's with giving birth and the Golden Children, there's this feeling of now I've got a song in my head, which is either Boyzone or Take That. I think it's Take That, where there's a little choir boy that starts, and you've gone so far. And I'm not going to subject you to any more of my singing, but that's it. That's the feeling I've got. You have come so far. Ooh, you've got two tarot cards for Scorpio. Princess of Wands, so Page of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles, indicating that there is still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of repetitive stuff to be done yet, but it is highly, highly skilled. And with this particular one, this particular strength card, I'm rather feeling that there's an element of taking things into view by others, possibly on an internet level. Princess of Wands can represent messages which I've never really got, because surely swords being air would be the more representing messages, but no, Wands can represent messages as well. And that's what I do feel with this Princess of Wands. It's almost like a message is being put out there, but there is, look at her face, there's an element of surrender, as if you're going, yeah, world, I'm this. And there's I hope they like it, I hope they like it, I hope they like it, but an awareness that there is no control over how that message is received. So then you have Hathor, which is representing love and music in this deck, and is giving you, okay, got blinded to the pain and forgetting oneself again. Well, blinded to the pain again and forgetting oneself. This is the one that I'm really liking, because the forgetting oneself isn't necessarily meaning overstepping your boundaries, and it's not necessarily meaning deliberately self-sacrificing, but I do feel there's an element of not paying enough attention. Is that what the song's called, Jennifer? Hi, Jennifer, by the way. Yeah, that's not my strong point. Right, so going to forgetting yourself. Not that overstepping bounds, or it's more not counting yourself in to receive the results of your actions that you're trying to build here, because there is something new coming, but there's something that you're having to shed to allow that giving birth, golden children, that new thing to come along. There's another card. What card's missing? Mystical Shaman, that's it. Well, and Kings of Hell. Let's see. Oh, Andean Cross. Now, what that is telling me is that, Scorpio, you can use this moon as a real chance to center yourself. Think of yourself as, right. There's a diagram I can see in my mind. I can't remember where it's from. It's probably some form of description of space-time or something. But 2 diagonal lines in a rectangle, okay? So not like that, like that. And in the smaller, in the thinner wedges, there's all stars, you know, night sky and stars and galaxies and what have you, in the thinner wedges, and the fatter wedges, sort of where my head is or where my belly is, are empty. Now, it's probably describing a black hole, a white hole, or so I don't know what the image is from. But I want you, Scorpio, to put yourself at the center of those crossing lines, at the point of the black hole, the white hole, the mathematical, whatever it is that that diagram was representing. Here, you are processing the past for it to become the future. And I don't just mean that you are doing this I don't just mean that you're doing this personally. You are a filter. You are a point in space-time. Let's stick with the metaphor that I've got. That is churning all that past stuff and transforming, allowing what needs to come through to the future, being the other triangle, whichever one it is. So you can go left to right, right to left, whichever. You are taking an active role in that transforming the past into the future. So this is making me think that there is an effect that you are having that one would assume affects far more than you. Okay, who have we got? We've got Baal, King of the Unseen. How apropos, because you may be doing that work, 8 of Pentacles here, but you are forgetting that it is you doing that work. And therefore, if there has been some pain that you've been ignoring, if there is something that you are needing to release, if there is some tiredness that you do not want to surrender to, but you don't quite know where it's coming from, bear in mind that if you are acting as a filter for history to pass through to become the future, just as much as we can talk about filters of perception, or we could talk about a sieve. If you've got a hole in your sieve, it's not a very good sieve. Strainer, if you don't know what I mean. And therefore, you as a filter, you forget that your own personal filter affects that future that you are generating. Now, that sounds too much like a telling off as well, because I also feel that you forget that your filter is affecting what you are generating, and you forget that you are the filter. So you're not giving yourself enough credit, and not giving yourself enough credit is possibly that wound that is then affecting the filter that is affecting what you are producing. I need a breath after that. Does that make sense? There's it's hinting that you are not honoring your role in the process, and because you are not honoring your role in the process, you are slightly warping the process, and you don't really want to warp the process, so you need to honor yourself in that process a little bit more, if that makes sense. Especially with, I mean, I'm getting that with Baal here, King of the Unseen. But with Baal, Hathor, these two together, I want to suggest, Scorpio, that whatever you are doing, you are actually supported in this on an energetic level. So let's go full on hippie woo woo, you know, whether it's spirits, whether it's the goddess Hathor herself and the demonic King Baal, or whether it's ancestors or angels or whatever your personal preference of non-physical being happens to be, they are assisting you. And this giving birth is not just by you being that filter, by you pushing that history into the future, or, you know, matter from one universe into another, you know, whatever its meaning. You are being reborn in that process. And the final ingredient to that is you honoring your part that you are playing in that process. Because, I get it, because it's as if you've been feeling like you are nothing much more than a tool, nothing much more than a spade, a tractor, a combine harvester. You know, but no, you are a conscious being. Your light is added to the end product. And I don't mean that in a Soylent Green type way either, but I do mean that in a sort of a whichever winged media way, because you're not honoring yourself in that process puts a slant, a bias on what it is that you are creating. Whereas you could create all this stuff while recognizing what a wonderful conscious being that you are doing as you do this. Now, I just want to point out, doing this does not make you a wonderful conscious being. You are a wonderful conscious being anyway, but you're actually doing something really cool. And so you need to pay attention to the fact that you are doing something really cool and should be enjoying it and honoring your own role in it, and not just thinking of yourself as a piece of apparatus. I don't think there's hope more I can get out of there. I could probably say the same thing again and again and again, as I think I was just starting to do. But hopefully, if you're out there, message received and understood, I would hope. Thank you, Jennifer, for letting me know that I did make at least grammatical sense. No, that's the wrong way around. Right. So next, Sagittarius. 4 more to go. See if there's an astrologer here. And he's disconnected again. Oh, well, like I said, we'll try and record something over the next couple of days, because I really want to discuss this moon with him. Right, so Sagittarius. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. These two were visible. So we've got your hard work is paying off again, and you and your loved ones are safe. Now, I have no idea of the context of that. Let's get some more cards to go. So the Angelarium. What have you got for Sagittarius angels? We have, Simichiel It's Michael, the angel of vengeance. Now, you know what I was saying earlier about Cushiel, about his blade swings both ways? It's Michael even more, because vengeance is not justice. So Michael says, yeah, you want to invoke me? Okay, I will do your bidding, and then I will measure their wrongs and get revenge for them, and then I'll look at you and look at your wrongs and see what needs avenging. And I don't mean avenging in a good Marvel Comics way, neither. You know, he's a scary individual, this one. Although I love that headpiece. It looks like he's got a hat that is a dream catcher. I don't think I could wear that going down the high street, but there's right. That's what wonderfully happy. Oh, healing the past. I step into my future with strength and clarity. Oh, what a surprise. This is something that you need to let go of, Sagittarius. On a Scorpio full moon, there's a surprise. So, the Desert Prince, survival and false promises. So somewhere along the line, you've been let down and you're really annoyed about it. Someone or something has let you down. And if you've let yourself down, then it's you to be angry with. But what is the point of being angry with yourself? What's the point? You know, just whatever it is that you did bad, don't do it again. End of story. You know, like they say, learn from it, move on. But I rather feel with that, you and your loved ones are safe. If someone has let you down, oh well, you and your loved ones are safe. You will be fine. But with Simikiel here, I'm rather thinking that trying to set the balance right in your own mind, however that may go, but right now, now's not a good time. It can backfire, especially since I've just pulled from the Starseed Oracle. Wait, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Let's see which. Actually, I don't think I've ever done this with this deck yet. You know, when they're all highly varnished cards, sometimes they can sort of not quite stick to one another, but sort of stick to one another. More through static than anything. Right, show me one card. Okay, and they showed you Imset, Air Spirit. I know nothing about that, but that does show that information is coming your way. Let's see what the tarot has got to add to the matter. Okay, we have the Hanged Man. Right, it's definitely not time. The Hanged Man is a card of waiting. And then we have that wait card. And let's be honest, taking action on whatever it is that you are wanting to take action on a vengeance type level, a setting things right type level, even if especially if it's just I'll show them type level, too soon, not now, and it would jeopardize your survival. And at the moment, you're in a good, you may not agree, but you're in a good place. You could be, let's put it this way, you could be in a far worse place. And we have anger and chain. Does that say chains? It's getting dark in here now. Does that say chains? Yeah. Anger and Chains. It's a very chaotic card here. So it might be that you're putting everything that flies in the face of what I was saying about anger earlier, doesn't it? But I will say that one thing that comes to mind is revenge is a dish best served cold. And you're not cold, not at the moment. Oh, look, fire sign again. Yes, allow, we've got flow here. Allow, it's quite a beautiful card. I've not seen that one before. As you can tell, there's some oracle decks I use a lot more often than others. Allow events to unfold further. Where you are, you're better off where you are right now. So whatever this vengeful feeling or not even feeling, temptation, I think is a far better word, temptation. Oh, we've got Vine, bringer of wrath again. So, and that speaks to the anger and chains. It speaks to the wish to invoke Simikiel. But you've come so far. Oh God, I've started again, haven't I? Because with that healing the past card, it makes me feel that this is something that is over and done with. Although I feel that the initial reaction to that would have been, oh, it damn well isn't. And okay, emotionally it might not be, but there's more that you need to learn or experience or simply get put into the right position for yet. So use this moon as an opportunity to put all this to one side. So let's look at Imset. I know the word, but that's all I know about Imset. Imset is, right, okay. Imset is one of the 4 disciples or sons of Horus. And this Netheru or god ruled the vital canopic funerary jar that contained the liver of the mummy. The liver of the mummy, the liver of the mummy. With the face of the other 3 sons, with the face of a man, he signifies conscious choice in this life. Imset and the 3 other sons of Horus were also invoked in ceremonial magic, alchemy, and healing. So maybe have a read about Imset. But what I'm really drawn to is that conscious choice, because the whole point with Simikiel is that you choose to summon him. And then he will choose to look at you after he's done your bidding. So, you know, be careful what you wish for. There is, with the weight card, the flow card, it's definitely saying, hold your horses. Excuse the pun, Sagittarius. Hold your horses. Don't go shooting off right now. Things are too angry. Things are too chaotic, too crazy. It won't go well. Right, so let's get off that topic because that was a bit dark, wasn't it? What happened to these cards being all lovely, happy? Right, so I might put a light on because now I'm finding it a bit difficult to see. So bear with me 1 second. Okay, right. Now let's have a look. Capricorn. I say knocking the table for 6. So one card for Capricorn, please, for this full moon. Don't forget to check out your full moon readings as well, because they may be talking about the same thing or something completely different. But they may give you some extra insight, especially you, Sagittarius, after that reading. Go and have a look at that one. I have no idea what your reading for the full moons ones that I pre-recorded was. So now we have Chokma, the right eye, wisdom, and conclusions are within reach for Capricorn, but also this is a full moon eclipse card. Now we're not far away from eclipse season. I think, is it the next new moon that's an eclipse, or is it the next full moon and the new moon after that? But it's eclipse season on us again already. 6 months of change, 6 months of change like lightning. We have the giving birth card again. Okay. We have the Lady of the Mirror, reflection and non-judgment. Let's see what sort of story we can build up from here. I rather feel, Capricorn, that there's something, whatever is coming to a conclusion, it's going to have a bit of a shocking end, but one where you're able to take advantage, but it's not what you was expecting at all. But it's not necessarily bad, but it's not necessarily the good outcome that you was expecting and that you was hoping for. Let's see what significator you get from the tarot here. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. Right. So you got, in fact, let's look at the whole pile. Oh, this is ridiculous. So at the top of the pile, the Fool and the Hanged Man. We've seen both of those before. Okay, but new beginning or going into territory unknown. I think that's the more idea I want to go with this. Going into territory unknown. But I believe that you've already done that. And that's why Chokma's presence is here, because they're seeing, and I can't tell you where I'm getting this from, but there's a sense of a tentative step. Maybe it's with this lady looking at her scary straight out of the ring reflection in this lake on this the Lady of the Mirror card. No, she's not straight out of the ring, but that's what made me first thought of it. You then have Judgment, so 3 major arcana, 4 major arcana, Universe, the World card. So there is a lot of, you're in a new stage, you're in a new time, there is confusion abound, but understanding is promised. But when that understanding comes, it's going to fast and it's going to be shocking, but it's actually going to be a form of wish fulfillment that sets you hurtling forward into a new future. I don't know why I'm bothering with the oracle cards. Right, there's but out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards there, 4 major arcana, 1 ace, and the 1 9 of cups. So we have Sphinx with silent wisdom here. And I'm immediately just led to think some form of riddle that you've been trying to sort out. But the riddle is all around you. It's something that, with that conclusions within reach, it's not a surprise that the riddle is there. You know, it's not, oh shit. It's not, moving swiftly on, it's not a surprise that that sense of riddle is there, because that's been around you for so for quite some time. I think what this is telling me is that you have entered into a new phase of life within the past however months. And there is an element of you thinking, surely by now I should have figured out what the hell is going on. Surely by now I should be understanding what is happening. But no, it's changing you. You ain't quite there yet. There's so much that you're seeing that you're not understanding, but that's a good thing, because when this understanding hits, this transformation hits, this eclipse derived transformation hits, something starting on this full moon, no, so a week before, a week after, that you're going to get more and more revelations about within eclipse season. And it's really going to help you find your feet. The rainbow, which immediately makes me think of the Rainbow Bridge, so the Bifrost, because, yeah, that's the way my mind works. But you could also call that as balanced chakras, rainbow light body. That's a sense of evolution, a sense of balance coming up. And therefore, as you've gone into this new place, it's literally like going from the middle of New York to the depths of fairyland. It seemed that different, that where the old rules don't count, the old rules aren't working, they're just not relevant. But since they're not relevant, then what is? That understanding is going to come to you. It's not quite what you think it is. But you have been deliberately... Okay, no, let me rephrase that, because that sounds like I'm accusing you. You have been deliberately confused by spirit to get you to ask whatever questions it is that you're needing to ask. Final card that I haven't dealt with is Earth Pulsing. Pulse of the Mother, slow down time in nature. So what I'm getting there is literally... You think it's confusing now? Just relax and enjoy it. Like the Hanged Man card, Odin hanging upside down on the world tree. Just relax and enjoy it, because when things happen, they will happen fast. And so take opportunity to relax and enjoy it now while you can. Right, Aquarius. Hope that means something to someone, because that sounded bonkers. Just so that you know, there will be timestamps placed on the video later, whether that's tonight or tomorrow, because I do have a trusty assistant behind the scenes who I am very grateful for, who has been, hopefully it's been recording the timestamps anyway. Otherwise, I'll be watching this all night. And there is a point where, as much as I enjoy editing, you can get sick of the sound of your own voice. I mean, I'm surprised when, after I've heard myself talking for an hour or so, and I've been going 2 hours solid now. I'm surprised that any of my friends ever want to talk to me, because I get sick of the sound of my own voice. It's not that doesn't stop me talking, mind, but there is a... I do wonder at the patience of others at times. So Malkuth has made an appearance again for you, Aquarius, and you are being told to stand... Well, actually, there's only the 2 cards, so I'll take them both. You are being told to stand firm and show the world the real you. So, oh, look, Aquarius, you're standing for your principles and your oddness again. They are good for you. But, I mean, let's face it, over this last year, you've had cause and you've had practice. So I think now it feels like, because it's that conclusion aspect of the full moon, it feels like it's putting that into practice. All of the stuff that's been going on. Now, that's just coming straight out of God knows where. So I'm not seeing that in any of the cards yet, but we've got that discernment thing again. Well, I really like that expecting miracles card, because as you can tell, that implies good news for you, Aquarius. Okay, we'll use that card then, shall we? We have a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. So that makes me, that backs up what I was feeling, really, of everything that you've been going through and standing up for in this last year or so it's coming to a culmination. There's yes, you, Joseph. There's it's coming towards a culmination now. It's coming to a point of everything that you've learned over this last year. And for you, I do want to say last year, because you've had plenty of opportunity to, and there's your card, the star card. And then we have King of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. There's happiness coming from you standing your ground here. This is Ten of Cups, as you know, better than wish fulfillment. You know, it's all the stuff you wanted, minus the stuff that you don't actually need, and plus stuff that you didn't know you needed. King of Pentacles says that it's grounded, and the star card here, or here the stars card, showing that you are being guided on the right path here. So whatever it is that you've been standing up for, that's what you want to be standing up for. This deck. Right, let's have a look. There's whoops. Okay, there's that one card that, okay, it's that one then, is it? Nephthys with soul healing. This one wants to come out as well. Set with challenges. Oh, now what an interesting pairing. Nephthys with soul healing and set with challenges. These challenges that you have been facing is sending you on a healing path. It is not just exposing all your wounds. It is not just giving you new wounds. It is not just a nice healing atmosphere for you. It's like, it's literally, I mean, and I'm drawing on a lot of the readings that I've given Aquarius this last year, because Aquarius, Leo had it bad, Aquarius had it really bad, and then things got better for Aquarius. And then I seem to remember that last month it was like something had popped its head up again, but that's because this time it's the exam. This time it's you get to put into practice everything that you've learned. Looking at these cards, you're going to do fine. But there is what this full moon seems to be wanting to empower you to do is to speak out with what you have learned, whatever that may mean. So we have Addicted and Parasite from the Dark Mirror. These are definitely not happy cards. And there's that sense of eliminating 3 cards. Now, if this was a tarot deck, these would all be major arcana. We have the Mystical Shaman, the Sacrifice, and the Rainmaker. So the sense that I am getting from these, ooh, how can I want to say you're in your final battle. Now that is not a capital F, it's a final battle on this topic, whatever this topic that you've been facing in your life is. And that is something, excuse me, that is something that will be coming up over the next month, probably quick. I feel like it's quicker. Do you know what I mean? It's like the full moon is, I mean, I will say, like I say at the start of all of my recorded videos, timing is not absolute, but it feels very immediate. This is put everything into practice. This is your big boss battle. This is your finally putting the matter to rest and getting rid of things that have been attached to you, whether that's etherically, astrally, financially, socially, whatever. But it's also getting rid of your attachment to them, whatever they may be. The shaman's job is exactly that, is to free you of any parasites that are attached to you. But the parasites that are attached to you are in and of themselves the sacrifice. These parasites that you are trying to fight against and you are trying to destroy are also what you have to give up. Have you been enjoying the battle a bit too much? But the Rainmaker is a tool of the gods, so to speak. And the Rainmaker is the one that enables the gods' will to be summoned, and directed is not the right word. Manifested, I think, is the way I want to put it. And all of this is a healing. The reason why things have been poo recently is because this is a healing experience, you know, and it's that old phrase of, oh, goody, another learning experience. But no, this isn't a learning experience. This is a what have you learned experience. Because if this was a test, you already know the answers. You've had the textbook. Let's see what King of Hell is interested in you. That sounds really bad, doesn't it, after the way I just described that? So we have Paimon, the King of Subjugation. Now, Paimon likes his finery. And that matter of subjugation seems to be associated with these parasites. You are subjugating these parasites by detaching them. But just be aware that you may have already been subjugating these parasites by having them attached. Because remember, they are also what you are giving up now. That's interesting. That's really interesting. The phrase, yes, does the word codependent mean anything to you? And that's not just in love relationships, let's be quite honest. Right, so last as ever, Pisces. You know, other people say last but not least. No, forget it. Let's remember, Pisces, that you are last. But the whole reason that you are last is that you've already gone through all of the zodiac. Let the younger ones go first. There is a pride to being last. There's right. I'm going to start with a tarot for you, Pisces, I think. Might even do the whole reading backwards. Well, no, because I'll put cards in the wrong place and my brain won't be happy with me if I do that. But we have, Ten of Pentacles, Three of Cups. Now, this Ten of Pentacles, you notice there's a couple going into the castle. There's no grandpa and no dog on this, and no child on this. But there's a young couple. Oh, no, there is a young child. They're just very, very, very small. They're going into the castle. And to me, it feels a bit new because it feels a bit Oz-like. to me. So it's like going into a new realm that is already there and stable, and you have friends supporting you in this with the Three of Cups, which also means that there's a forward motion involving with friends as well. So let's see what the Moonology deck has got to say. One card, please, for Pisces. Okay, that one. Take time to breathe out. All right. That's it. That's your reading finished, Pisces. No, I won't do that to you. Don't worry. Take time to breathe out. What that immediately makes me think is if there's been goals that you have been setting towards, relax. They're either going to happen or they're not. You've done everything that you need to do. Raziel Angels of Mysteries, you're not getting your answer this time. But the take time to breathe out also means that add a little bit of relaxation into the formula. Following your bliss, my soul sings with joy. Now, I really get the impression from these, yeah, you're doing that anyway. And hearing messages from spirit. Oh, what a surprise, Pisces. It's a full moon and you're hearing the spooks talk to you. That's fine. But that's also telling you to pay attention to the synchronicities, pay attention to the, repeated numbers, look at what the angel message is. You keep hearing the same song, or a song pops into your head out of nowhere, especially if it's one of those where it feels like, where the blooming hell did that song just come from? Like me and, what was it called? Never Forget earlier. Go and read the lyrics. See if there's a message in there for you that's relevant. So, now, Ringmaster of Scrutiny again. You can see how many cards are in this deck, yeah? But there's discernment, clear vision, details. But also, he's sat at a desk with a wand, but he's just sat at the desk. I want to link that with the take time to breathe out, because it will allow you to open your eyes, study the world that you're in right now. It'll be a different one tomorrow. But study the world that you're in right now, because I think awareness is more important right now than action. This is what I'm getting, especially with Raziel, Angel of Mysteries. You may find something to try and choose an action, and then something else you find out makes you go, oh, well, maybe I didn't want to do that after all. So let's, one card, please, Pisces. One card, just throw a card out for me. Okay. That was, okay, that's two cards. No, that's three cards. I'll just take the top one. And we have loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. So again, relax, folks. That's the one thing this full moon can tell you, Pisces. Relax. It's fine. It will be okay. Whatever it is, it will be okay. Right. Let's see what the Egyptian gods have got to say here. I'm half hoping for Nephthys again, because that would be really nice. But, okay. Right. That one, it was the first one to turn over in my hand. Nefertum. I don't know anything about Nefertum, although, again, I recognize the name. But he represents here renewal and rebirth. So I'll read up on him in a moment. See what the Dark Mirror Oracle has got to add to this. One card, please, for Pisces. What can they be working on during this during this full moon? So we have I love this card. So this card is called Is This Me? Or Is This Me? Or Is This Me? There's again, take time to breathe out. Look at where your actions have been leading you to be. Have you been so focused on a certain goal that you was to turn around and look and go, was that me? Did I do that? That doesn't sound like me. No, but it was you. And then we have the crow, which is a wonderful bird of wisdom. And one thing that I'm drawn to is there's an ammonite. Well, there's a red sun or even a Death Star in its chest, and an ammonite above that. The ammonite makes me think of the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence I've recently been thinking about a lot, to do in terms of evolution, about how all things in the universe move in spirals, like the planets in effect move in spirals because the sun is moving, the solar system is moving. No doubt the galaxy itself, the Milky Way, is moving in a spiral as it orbits something at a pace so slowly that our tiny little minds won't consider it. But let's see which King of Hell we've got. And we have Belial, the King of Law. Now, Belial is all about, if you work with Belial, he's all about personal evolution. He will show you where you've put your own personal boundaries and say, is there a point? So never mind, is this me? Belial is one who will say, was that you? Really? You put that barrier there for yourself, did you? But he also, strangely, can be quite conservative. So there's an element of setting things right. Take a breath. Whatever you are wanting to bring about, trust that it... Oh, I need some hippie cards to have the word trust on it, don't I? But trust that it's in process. This is what I'm getting from here, because you're not supposed to know the answer. You're not supposed to know if it works out just yet. And don't be trying to control all of it quite so much. Just listen to the cues. Take time to breathe out. Very important for the night of the full moon. But I'm rather thinking, where's Aquarius? It felt quite immediate. This take time to breathe out bit, I feel like, I mean, longer than just to the next new moon, or if they're not the eclipses, till the eclipses. I feel like take the time to breathe out needs to start being a regular, well, let's use the ringmaster imagery, a regular show. Every night, 7 p.m, the big top, take time to breathe out. Make sure that you are doing it on a regular basis, daily, at the very minimum weekly, and at the very, very, very minimum every lunation. But let's go for weekly and use the equinox moon as well. But Neferton, let's have a look what he's got to say before, because we are on the last one, so I've got a little bit of time. Card number 22. Is a spirit of the sacred blue lotus flower, which also appears a lot in Indian myths. The son of Sekhmet and Ptah, he is a powerful and quite magical healing god. This Netero emanates the creative pulse and divine fragrance of inspiration, that impels life to ascend to higher realms. But also notice that point, divine fragrance. Take time to breathe out. What do you do after you breathe out? You breathe in, to absorb that fragrance, to hear the messages from spirit. So yeah, the show's going to go on whatever. So make sure part of that show is take time to breathe out. Right. Well, I've been going 2.5 hours. And I've talked the entire time. So since we've had a lack of astrologer, I will try and tie David down for doing a show with him. See if we can live stream tomorrow night or something like that. In the meantime, when this is pre-recorded, there will be a link down below for the Facebook group for this page, Facebook page for this channel, sorry. Again, there's an inbox there if you want to approach me for a personal reading, which is probably more tarot cards than this. Then that's the way you do it. All right. I hope everybody's well. Happy full moon. Transform away. Remember, it's a very personal experience, this full moon. And I will see you all probably next lunation. Just keep an eye on the channel.